Thanks for watching Pro-Am Fight Talk with Juan Marshall.
You gotta be here, not burning the legs up, but here, and every punch gotta be not hard. You sneak the hard ones in. You gotta sort of like walking through a bee nest that's been irritated. What those bees gonna do? They gonna come out there hard, and they gonna be all over the place.
Speaking of beehive, you know Beyonce's birthday was a couple of days ago.
Yeah, he out.
Sean,
Hey.
you know, it's been a long journey for you to get here. You know, you were a top advocate for women's boxing, and you've been doing it for a long time. So tell us about that road.
I actually got into boxing just to be a singer, and I never knew that it would even lead me to something like this, you know? And I felt like when the universe called, I just had to answer. And this is a journey that was picked for me, and I'm just living it. And I know that it's a lot of women out there that don't have voices like I have, because I know what it's like to be at the bottom. I know what it's like to be at the top and back to the bottom. So my goal is just to lead by example, because a lot of people can talk the talk but not walk it. People that seen me with the promoter, without a promoter, and the amateurs, they seen me be top seed to fight and to stay in the tournament, but you know, I just lead by example.
Is it still, you think it's still a struggle for women to be actually notarized just as high as the men are? Or are they almost there, you think?
Oh no, it's still a struggle. Like, I just want to say to everybody who did come out today, that means the world, because a lot of people will be like, oh, it's just a media workout for girls and nobody would care, but it means the world to me from the bottom, and I appreciate all of you guys. But it's still a struggle. Like, I mean, like with the card I'm fighting on, I'm the co-main event. I'm a world titleist. I would love to be like on the big posters, but I mean, I'm going to be on the presser stage, you know, so I'll have my time to speak, and it's little steps in the journey, but we still have a long way to go.
And even, you know, you at the championship level, being the world champion, how much longer you think that you can actually go? You're 28, you know, so you're going to take it as long as it can take you, or you have a time frame of your own to stop fighting?
When the time is right, I feel it. It's something you feel. I mean, my mentor, Bernard Hopkins, he just retired 3 years ago at 50 something. So it's what's in me, you know. Like I said, you hear the baby crying. My husband wants some babies too, and you know, I don't know. I just, as far as I can go.
And then with the lack of female fighters that's out there now at the top level, you think that will carry you further in the career?
I thrive in competition. You see, I'll say honestly, Clarissa gave me a second win because I dominated in the amateurs for so long at multiple weight classes. So when she came around, she really put fire up under me, and it's carrying over to the pros. So I feel like it's a weird kind of thing, but I feel like I'm not going to leave her hanging. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be behind her or beside her, pushing women's boxing forward. Like, we don't have Venus and Serena in boxing, but if we can be something like that in boxing for the girls coming up, black, brown, white, whatever, that would help.
You know, speaking of Clarissa Shields, do you think she is the main monumental stage that actually platformed women's boxing the way it is right now? Especially giving yourself an opportunity to become world champion and everything.
I think in 2012, when women's boxing was inducted into the, was inaugurated into the Olympics, I think that was the new wave of it, because you had a lot of talent coming out of there. And then with 2016, you know, it put fire under everybody after 2012. So when 2016 came around, girls was training harder, more disciplined, like, look, we got to get it. And then that class graduated 2016, and now we're coming into the pros. So yes, Clarissa was one of the most prominent ones. I think everybody all over the world, like you have two-time Olympic gold medalist Nicola Adams, you have Katie Taylor, who's an Olympian and another medalist. You got Clarissa. I mean, Clarissa, I guess, got the biggest mouth, and she don't care. She gonna speak her mind. So.
Even at the smaller weight class, you're at what, at Serrano?
Serrano.
Is it, what's her name?
Amanda Serrano.
Amanda Serrano, yeah. It's smaller weight classes, yeah.
I wouldn't put her in the category with us because we were elite amateur that became professional, became world champion.
But isn't that like a huge statement for her to not have that elite stage but be as prominent as she is as a professional?
I mean, that's great marketing. That's great marketing. I'm excited for this fight. Heather Hardy, we actually made the Team USA together before. And the women like her, the women like Heather Hardy, the women that's been putting in work in the pros before we got here definitely add to everything. I'm not going to put that all on Clarissa Shields' back. I'm going to say that it's a collective effort, and I can't take anything away from Heather Hardy, Amanda Serrano. The fact that we're all fighting around the same time. You even got Jelena from Canada, and I got to spend time with her in Philippines, and she's an OG. Like, I didn't know how lit she was and how much of a pioneer she was, and she actually gave me advice, and I said, okay, so now me becoming more of an OG, a young OG or a veteran coming to help these other girls navigate. You know what I'm saying? So it's a process.
Now, how tough was the business side for you? I know you've been doing your thing as far as making things work for you and to put you in the position that you're in right now.
Yeah, it's a process. I mean, my thing is my goal. I seen other people who didn't have any experience guide fighters to positions, and I just kept to myself, like, I'm smart, I'm a go-getter, and I will use what you guys try to put against me to empower me. Yes, I'm black. Yes, I'm a woman. Yes, I don't have a huge team, but I know who I am. I know what the F I bring to the table, and my resume speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So every time you put me in a position, I'm going to show and prove. It has been difficult. I had to take a risk to get to where I am. I went pro with the 2-time Olympian. My first fight with a 2-week notice. But you know what? I did that because I know what's in me. I say, you know what? This is going to not only do it for me, it's going to boost women's boxing to show, like, look, we come out the elite class, all y'all playing games. If y'all about that life, fight. And I respect Clarissa for taking that fight, because most people wouldn't want to take a fight like that, because we know each other very well. And that just helps solidify both of our legacy. So, you know, like the gentleman asked me about my resume compared to my opponents. I'm already battle tested, and now I have a standard to stay to. I'm not gonna let you, if Clarissa ain't whoop my ass like that, you definitely not gonna whoop my ass, heavyweight or not. You know what I'm saying? So I just took risks and invested in myself and always bet on myself. And then I was signed with another promoter. That didn't work out because I knew my worth. I'm not a freaking backup dancer. I'm not a spot filler. I'm not an opponent. Whether I had a loss or not, I'm not an opponent. And, you know, I took a chance, and God saw, and the universe worked in my favor, and I became a world champion, and other people saw my light instead of trying to dim it.
Now, how did Golden Boy come into play?
Well, I already, you know, I beat their fighter for the title. And they wanted to work with me before I even fought, actually. But, you know, they had a deal with ESPN, and that's no longer in stat. So, you know, it's a fiscal year, new fiscal year coming up, and that's how the business works. They got budget. And I just kept in contact, and, you know, Bernard was a big advocate for me, and everything. They just said, hey, I went out, had a meeting with the president, and also supported Marlena Esparza for her fight, and everything just worked in his favor. It was a time, and I said that when I won the belt, divine order. I look back, like, everything I've been through was definitely worth everything I went through.
Tell me about the first time when you actually won the title.
Shoot, everybody saw. We all shared a couple thug tears. Like, we shared a couple thug tears. Like, that wasn't even for me, bro. That was for the underdogs, and for my mom, for one of my best friends and old sparring partners who got double life sentence. Like, people know my journey, and just to see, like, yo, and they tried to rob me on that fight, you know. So just to see, like, it could be done. That was my goal, so people can see it could be done. It may not be done as to the magnitude that I did it, but just if you have a goal and you push through, and if you really want it, just be ready when the opportunity presents itself. Yeah,
and next week you have the first title defense of that title.
Yeah.
What did his opponent? What's her name?
Alejandra Jimenez.
Alejandra
Jimenez.
Yeah. How did she come about?
It's funny, when I won my title, probably like 3 weeks later, her promoter called and wanted to fight for it. And I'm just like, you know what? No, because I'm not coming to Mexico. I'm not gonna come to your city to fight you. I just won the belt. I'm trying to enjoy it and figure out what else is going, because I'm navigating new territory.
They wanted you to go to Mexico?
Yeah, to win my title. The thing is, she's fighting for a belt. I'm fighting for legacy. I'm fighting for so much more. I have a future family I want. I want to be able to provide. I'm already a woman. I'm not making that much money like the men. Like, one of their fights, I feel like I could retire after that. But I have to continue to do this, and every step that I succeed in adds to that. I've been working my whole life, which I have no problem doing, but yeah, so it's some rules mandated by WBC. You have to defend a mandatory within a year. So I had my tune-up fight in June when I signed with Golden Boy, and then September 18th would have been the limit, so this made sense. And I already kind of manifested I wanted to fight on the 14th because I was hoping Canelo was fighting on this card too, which he originally was.
Yeah.
But yeah, she said she want to fight. I'm like, okay, and she gonna get this work. I know it's a lot of politics too.
Let's talk about the financial differences between what the men make and also you being a world champion and to what females make.
You know what? I say every time I feel like complaining, I'm just gonna sit down and shut the F up. And
Is it a
be grateful.
huge difference?
It's a huge difference, and it's a huge difference. Like, I'm blessed to be with the company I'm with, and I saw a little documentary of who was in Alicia Napoleon, Heather Hardy, and Serrano, and how they was talking about the kind of numbers they was doing. And I'm just like, dang, and they've been in the game for a long time. So I'm happy that my resume stuck out enough that I can get paid for my experience. But from fighters like that to what I get to what the men get, it's a lot of gaps.
So that's why a lot of females, do they consider having an 8-hour job basically?
Yeah, I mean, as an amateur, I worked 3 jobs, was in school, taking care of my mother, and competing at the elite level. I still have a job now, but it's like I'm an entrepreneur also. So I make boxing uniforms. I get
look very well, actually.
Thank you. Wait till you see this one. It's gonna be fire. But and I also, have built my brand that I can be booked to be who I am. So yeah, she. You got to see the documentary. It kind of like.
What's the name of the documentary?
I don't know. Go to Heather's page. Go to either one. Alicia Napoleon, Heather Hardy's page.
Okay.
Even Lou DiBella had his page up there.
Okay.
When she said she has a 15-year-old daughter and she still sleeps on the couch because she can't afford a bed. I'm like, shit. I'm about to cash app you something to go towards that. But. And then she does like night job, and I know that whole feeling because I'm there, I've been there. I have no problem having to go back if I had to, but it shouldn't be that way.
Finally, what's the game plan for this fight right here coming up? Not the game plan.
And get busy.
So, because I know in your fights you have a lot of slugfest. You go blow to blow. With Clarissa and everybody else that you've been in the ring with.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do more boxing, or are you just gonna be you and slug it out?
The thing is, she's, going to be in very good condition because she does like this CrossFit thing, whatever she does. I'm just going to do what I do. Like I said before, she's very limited as a boxer. She doesn't have the experience I have. She's more concerned. As you say, I slug, so I can give it, I could take it. I have a great chin, and I'm with the shits, excuse my French. I want to test her heart. I want to see how she reacts when she get hit. I'm going to eat mine. Like, we going to be good. Unless you knock me out, we going to have a long night. Yeah. And she's looking to impose her size because she thinks, because she was a heavyweight. You are a fat heavyweight. Now you're a skinny middleweight. I'm a big middleweight that competed at light heavyweight. So I spar men. I hit like a man. We gonna see what it is. Yeah,
you talked about you having a good relationship with Bernard Hopkins. What is Golden Boy's plan for you?
We signed. Well, my deal is a very good deal. It's a 2-year deal, and
how many fights you think?
5.
Okay.
5. So I just got to continue doing what I'm doing, and I want to unify. We want to unify, but I guess this is like the big test. So once I get past this, we're gonna see possibly unification. And maybe down the road a rematch with Clarissa.
Okay.
I think that would be, as I continue to build my brand, I think that would be one of the marquee fights for the big girls. You know, we got the little girls, the little small girls doing their thing, but I think a fight like that between her and myself would be a marquee fight that we can both benefit and the fans will benefit too.
Man, your wife has a lot going on, man. I know you played a big part in that.
Yes. Nah, not really. I just support.
You're a husband, so you got to, you know.
No, I'll try to be modest about everything. I'm not the one that like take credit for anything.
Okay.
I just support her. She do all the work. I just support her. That's all she needs.
Does she come to you with all these ideas before everything came into play? Did she come to you with an idea to let you know what her plans were?
We seen this right way before our pro career. Like way before our pro.
Because basically it was your pro career first, right? And then hers came. But she was still an amateur, making consideration to turn pro and everything.
It was like everything naturally like intertwined. Like I'm making the transition with the pro career. She was behind me, even though she was still doing her things in the amateurs. But I seen a plan for her. She seen the same plan, and just timing. You know, a few obstacles like it's always gonna be, but the perfect timing. We just roll with it.
And how was that ride though? Everything seemed like it's coming together.
But I'm gonna say the ride, I try to enjoy each and every day because you know boxing, it's an up and down thing. The ride, it ain't always good.
Okay.
Like success don't always feel good, but the thing that always feels good with success is having a family in the back, and that's one thing we find at the head bank. So not only I'm enjoying the ride, but we still hungry. I'm on my grind for a strap too. I need a belt before I hang up in my career. So
yeah, and with the tragedy, it's a tragedy for everyone when they have a parent pass away and everything. Has she been handling that?
I think that drives Franchon. Not only it drives her, but it also gives her this depth to the second coming of her, because she don't have that comfort no more within her mother, and it drives me even more to be that comfort, some type of comfort for her, because I lost my mother at 12. So I know how that be, so I know how it is, and every time I fight or she fight or any kid that's in boxing from the amateur to the pros, you gotta remember they lost somebody too. So this boxing is like a way they paint a picture of how they feel and get also taking places. So I want to be, me and my wife, we want to be a representation of what boxing can do if you stick with it. Like through the pain, through the ups and downs, and no matter what you go against, no matter how much adversity you face, keep going. That's what life is about, and that's what her mother taught me.
And on this road and this journey, you guys she actually ended up winning the championship, a title.
Yeah, and me, my career, I went through a few obstacles. You live and you learn. Don't make excuses. And with her winning that strap at a key point in my career, I was at this dark place. My shoulder was. I'm a decent amateur coming out the pros, and I'm losing this. I lost this early. I took that to heart, but just her winning that strap, it revived me. Like I got a lot more in me, and I refuse to leave this game without putting my mind to something. It don't owe me nothing. The game don't owe me nothing, but I owe it to myself to give it more than what I've been given.
I know it's a few times you were in her corner. Are you gonna be in her corner for this fight?
I know B gonna be in her corner, Barry Hunter. I'm always in her corner, but we work on that today. We kind of like freestyle.
Okay.
I like the head coach, which is Barry Hunter and Boog. They call the shots, and I just support. I'm a husband.
Yeah.
My job is making sure that I keep her energy clean. Even though I'm a fighter, I make sure I keep it real with her. I'm just a husband. So.
And she's definitely ready for this fight coming up. Her title defense.
I think Franchon ready for anything. Anything life throw at her, she's ready for. Her life has been built on the justice.
Then you turn your corner to you guys show following week in Kentucky.
We take one step at a time. Like even though I have a show,
you concentrate on next week.
The next week, I ain't looking. Whoever in my way, they gonna get mowed over. They gonna get ran over. But right now, we got a Latino female that needs to get mowed over by my wife. I'm gonna make sure that happens. I ain't worried about my fight. It's all about my wife. even when it's my time to fight, I don't worry about my fight. She worry more for me, and I worry more for her. It's about her. That's how we operate.
Thanks, man. Barry Hunter, you know, Franchon been over here for a while working with you guys. You know, next thing you know, she got that title, man.
Know her for some years. She put the work in, man. Franchon, good lady, love her. Her and Glenn, you know, they made their mind up one day and said we all in. Want to get with this headbanger family, and they've been here ever since. So we're gonna ride and die with them for sure.
And you know, ties changed a little bit. You had Lamont, he retired and everything. You know, and you got some younger fighters coming through. You got Franchon, another world title holder in it. So for yourself, how much more boxing you got in you?
Man, I don't know, man. Till the Most High tell me, man, it's over. You know what I mean? I'll still hang around, man, because you know this thing started with them kids, man. We got a whole legion of young fighters coming through. Very, very good. There's a lot of talent in this gym, and you're looking like people like Nasheed Smith, who's qualified for the Olympic trials. You got Max, you got Scooter, Peanut, Quincy. I mean, let's go on and on. You know, Twin. And all of them doing very, very well right now. Kadaz, his brother T.Y. Sky's the limit for him. Now, that last group, realistically, you feel me? That might be it. I'll keep my hands on the baby because they the seed, and you gotta protect that seed. But for the most part, in them trenches.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years, man.
And you know, it's boxing now is a lot of business. But for the male side of it, you've been through a lot of, but how more difficult is it for the women's side? The business side.
It's very difficult. You know, you look at the women, I mean, all the way across the board. When they get to soccer, boxing, basketball, even a prime example is the soccer team. Even though they're more successful or have been more successful than the males in that sport, why is the pay so much different? You mean? So, you know, I'm one of the ones that believe, man, you get paid for what you're worth and what you've done. Yeah. And if they deserve it, then you give them the money.
Yeah. Is it more strategic for women since they don't have the prominent careers as men?
It's going to have to be more strategic, and then you got to put quality matches out there because for the most part, you know, you got a lot still look at women boxing as, you know, a novelty act or a joke. But then you got women that really do have real skills. So I think the ones that are skilled should be pitted against the ones that are skilled, and the ones that really can't fight, keep them out of that loop. Therefore, when you start putting on quality fights, women fights, you know, and it's quality fights, then you get more people involved.